Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy Beach, and we have a lovely program in store for you today.
We're the news today. Oh boy, we're the news today. Are we on? Are we recording?
3, 2.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy Beach, and we have a very special program for you today because today I'll be speaking to young entrepreneur Tommie Rose, who hit the headlines for making £14,000 selling squeaks at school and for putting a lucozade bottle on eBay and it reaching over £1 million. Wow. Okay. And also, could you be drinking more than you realise? Over the Christmas period, you know, people kind of get a bit crazy. And I'm looking at you, Helen. I haven't even introduced you yet. Hello, Helen and Ian.
Hello.
We don't drink.
Sits there heel ready.
Lovely and lemon.
We don't drink.
I may as well already introduce them because they'll be doing our news in just a moment. But people do drink quite a bit over the Christmas period. So we've got Dr. Hicks here to tell us the facts about alcohol and what damage it actually really does to our body. Ooh, that should be interesting.
Listening to that.
And we also have self-development coach Chris Browne to help us get into the new year with a boost in our confidence. I'll be answering a question from one of you guys at home and showing you my visit to the delightful BB Bakery in Covent Garden for afternoon tea. That was absolutely lovely. Now, we are going to read the news in just a minute, but we did have some responses to our Facebook question of the week, which was what people love about Christmas the most. I'm going to ask you guys in a second. Okay. So Tracy said roasting turkey and eating all manner of food. I'm with you there. Liz Brooker said it has to be spending time with the family. We also have Helena, not you Helena, another Helena, who says what she loves about Christmas the most is time to rethink and plan the new year and be together with my loved ones. I don't really think about anything on Christmas Day, I just eat. And eat. And eat. Yeah. And Julie says, coming from a very small family consisting of myself, parents, 2 sons and 1 daughter-in-law, my favourite thing about Christmas is family time, being together to eat and relax, and it's always peaceful. That's probably because you don't have any crazy relatives. And the same with Serena, who says, my favourite thing to do at Christmas is cooking all my favourite food and relaxing with my siblings and watching old movies. So thanks for your responses. And if you guys also want to put your comments down on a Facebook page, it's The Chrissy B Show. How about you guys? Favourite thing about Christmas?
Oh, there's a few things I love about Christmas. I love to rest.
Mm-hmm.
I love to be able to give and cook. I don't cook that often, I have to
I bet
say.
you're really good
when
at
it comes
cooking.
to cooking, I do cook a good Christmas dinner and giving presents and just seeing people happy.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
nice.
And having a rest as well. So no
Good
running
rest.
around and watching, just relaxing. I don't watch that much TV, but at Christmas time, it's fine.
Oh, that's good. How about you, Ian? What would you like to do?
I have to. Well, first of all, I'm going to be very careful this Christmas because
He's on his new fitness regime, you see. He's very strict, aren't you?
And I listened to what I think it was Jane Rafter said about how many calories in a mince pie. And it was something like about 300 calories, isn't it?
No, I think it's more.
Is it more than that in a mince pie? So there's no mince pies for me this year.
Do you remember what she said about the average?
It's like £8, wasn't it?
No, the average weight that people put on is between 7 to 10 pounds. That's ridiculous.
It's nearly a stone, isn't it?
And the reality is with
Wow.
drinking, I can't drink to save my life. Do you know, I if I have 2 glasses of, and your bed is that, if I have 2 glasses of alcohol here, I'm anybody's. You know, I mean, literally, I just.
What's that supposed to say? The way he worded that was a bit ominous, isn't it?
I can't drink. I seriously can't drink. You know, 1 glass of alcohol, of anything, wine, and that's it. You know, that's
It just
enough.
affects people
enjoy
more
it.
than others, doesn't it?
I do enjoy
But my
wine
favourite thing, and I
occasion.
hope it's on again this year, my all-time favourite is Only Fools and Horses.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
And my all-time favourite is the Batman and Robin scene
Oh, that is quite
from,
fun.
Yeah.
you know, I used to work with David Chase, and, you know, and I've worked with both of them in my time. And I think that is the most classic, funny slot I've ever seen.
It is.
I don't know about you though, but every year the same.
Oh, but it's kind
Oh,
of
it's
traditional,
Christmas,
isn't it?
isn't
They're
it?
saying it's about nearly 80% of the same TV programmes we're watching each
But
Christmas.
people still watch them,
Yeah.
so there's a reason why they're
doing
putting them
something
on.
right.
And of course,
I
we'll be
guess so.
watching the Queen,
Of course.
3 o'clock.
Do you watch that?
Speech.
Well, we have to.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm normally unconscious on the sofa by that time.
we have to watch
Too much
Queen.
food.
Watch
It's
it
part of who we are.
That's true, yeah.
You know,
They have to, they're role
Yeah,
correspondents.
There's actually a click
Yes.
count, you know. If we're not part of the click count, that's it. We're cut off from next year's celebration. So we've got to be very careful
no,
because it's
looking
another
forward
big year next year.
So we haven't actually covered any news yet. I don't know if
No,
you've got
right, okay. So Ben
So
Haynow
what
won
we're here for?
X Factor.
Yes,
Yay!
yes, gosh.
So he won. I
Did
was
you want
actually
him to
quite
win?
shocked. I didn't actually. I wanted Fleur to win, Fleur East, but he won. He did a good last sing song, whatever it was.
It meant so much to both of them, didn't it?
It did.
So the look in their eyes.
The thing I've noticed this week especially is, where's Fleur?
She's taken a rest. I know that for a fact because I know a friend of hers and she wanted to take a whole week off.
No, but it's disappeared, you know, and you can't afford to do that either.
Oh, she's just a week. Come on,
No,
give
you
her a
can't.
chance.
You can't afford to do that either. You have to
She'll
be.
be back. She'll be back.
She will.
It'll be interesting. to
Maybe
see.
There's
closer
been
than you think,
classes.
Ian.
So I don't think
Watch
Ben
this
Haynow
space.
will be driving vans for too much longer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was busy having a moment with you.
Yeah.
You were just,
I
we're
turned
just
around
having
and
one of our.
you're winking at Ian. I'm not looking at him.
That's what you're allowed
You're
to
trying to
do.
tell him what's going on.
Well, there you
I
are.
understood
She's
that.
allowed to wink at me.
When? That's what I want to know. I
Okay,
picked
we'll
up
talk
on
about this
that.
another time. Anyways, tell us about the Ben.
Yes, so so he's not going to be driving a van anymore, obviously. He was out celebrating at the after show party, but there were no judges to be seen. I know that Mel B's been having a bit of trouble
She's
at
not
the
been
moment.
well,
She's
yeah.
not been well. There's been things going on, but it's a shame not to have any of the
Well,
judges
we're
there.
not really-
Yeah, I
we've
think
got to be careful. You know, the reality is there's a lot of allegations going on, and they are alleged. You know, right now as well. So that nobody's really come out.
What are you talking about?
Denied. Well, they've denied there may be sort of. What would you say? Irregularities in how they're living their life right now. But they're only just pure rumour.
Hang on,
Are
the
you,
judges or
are you on this? Who are you talking
No,
about?
I'm talking about Mel B.
Oh, are you? Oh, we've
Oh, I
done some
see.
there.
Okay.
No, you weren't, because we were talking about the judges. All right, okay. Move on.
Amazing. So, also another exciting thing, 3 new pictures have been released. The Duke and Duchess have released pictures of Prince George, looking a cheeky chappy, sitting on the step. We're not
naughty
100% sure, yeah. He does look a bit like he's sitting on the naughty step. He looks the way he's dressed, he looks quite old-fashioned. And he's sat there sort of looking very Victorian looking. I don't know what to think. Prince Harry's private secretary or somebody took the pictures and they're sweet and he's got a lovely face, but I think they could have been better. I'm trying to be diplomatic.
They're so critical about pictures because they are photographers, you see. So yeah, but you have to be,
You know, I mean, it was, you know, I did a couple of radio interviews on it, and the reality was, for me, they look like they're plastic pictures again, you know. But anyway, moving on. We're not going to talk about.
No.
This is going to be the rest of the show is going to be a George-free zone.
Yeah. So another thing, Lewis Hamilton, he's 29, won. BBC Sports Personality of the Year.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I mean, he's world champion, obviously, for his racing driving. But the funny thing about it is that I didn't realise, but he travels everywhere with his bulldog called Roscoe. So he literally on the red carpet, travels with him on flights and everything, which is quite, I think it's just quite sweet.
Yeah, it is.
It's nice.
But there's
Makes
been
him
a lot
nice boy.
of controversy this time as well, because they said that Roy McIlroy, you know, the golfer, should have won.
Should have won it.
And there's been this controversy because a lot of people are sort of saying that the other guy, you know, it lives in Switzerland.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton lives in Switzerland, and
It.
well,
You've forgotten his name again.
I couldn't think of his name.
Isn't it?
Okay. So it's the alcohol. It's the alcohol. The
lack of alcohol.
The lack of
Just
alcohol.
talking about it, it
And
gets
it's
you
the
like,
cold in here. My brain is starting to shrink.
that is true.
You could
Quite
hang
warm.
meat in here tonight, viewers. It's freezing.
So remember that's why we're all a bit silly.
Oh,
So you
goodness.
were saying talking about it?
So, okay. Thank you very much, Chris.
Sorry.
I shall talk to you afterwards. Lewis Hamilton lives in Switzerland, and a lot of people are sort of saying, well, why should someone who lives in Switzerland and doesn't pay a lot of tax into UK win such a prestigious award as the BBC Sports Personality of the Year?
Okay.
Whereas Roy McIlroy lives in UK and pays all his taxes into UK. So allegedly, Lewis Hamilton came back and said he pays part of his salary in the UK, but But there's been a lot of people. It's strange enough. There's been a lot of people against him.
Really?
There has. There's been quite a big backlash amongst sports people as well, tweeting to say, why did Lewis Hamilton get it? Why didn't Rory McIlroy get it? Because they're saying that.
It was a close second.
No, but they were saying that it was a 2-horse race. With Lewis Hamilton, and I don't know, I don't follow motor racing, but whoever was the other driver, and so it was only the two of them all year competing. So whereas Rory McIlroy really won several major golfing tournaments, competing against all sorts of people.
Formula One's more exciting.
I'm glad I got that out, Chrissy.
Formula One's more exciting.
We have reached our break.
No,
thank you so
You're not
much.
giving any news at all.
Sorry guys, we're just having a chat rather than covering much news on this section, but never mind, we'll do it again next time, won't we?
We will.
Oh, well, do stay tuned, because after the break I'll be speaking to Dr. Rob Hicks for the truth about alcohol, and also taking a look at a fabulous bakery where I had afternoon tea.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now, before we go to Dr. Hicks to talk about alcohol, let's take a look at afternoon tea Parisian style. Hi everyone, today I'm here outside BB Bakery, about to go in and to enjoy a lovely afternoon tea with my friend Motti. Hi Motti, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. I'm looking forward to this. I just caught a glance as we were walking past and it looks so good. I can't wait.
It looks lovely. Okay, so let's go inside.
Owner Brigitte Bloch, also known as BB, brought a touch of Paris to central London, an escape from the hustle and bustle to the atmosphere of a chic Parisian bakery. Originally from France, BB moved to London in 2010 and just months later, with help from her husband Philippe, opened her first BB bakery on South Bank, near London County Hall. She opened her second location on the Queen's Jubilee just 2 years later, located a short walk from Trafalgar Square and Covent Garden. When entering either location, the hint of Paris is tastefully peppered through the decor, with original art by BB hung on the walls. BB pays close attention to the details. Each item is carefully chosen, including the vintage English china for the tea that is only served by the pot.
As you can see, we've had the most amazing afternoon tea today. I loved it. Motti, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. Everything was so well prepared. You could see that a lot of detail went into it. It looked presentable.
The crockery and everything's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of made me feel at home, kind of my home away from home. Not that I produce all of this at home though, but it kind of feels homely, and at the same time you get quality food that you wouldn't have at home, yeah.
And you know, it was very filling actually. I've got a little takeaway box. Even the boxes are cute, look at that. So I'm taking that home to my hubby. It was lovely and I want to go back. Hello.
My stomach's rumbling.
Is it? Yeah.
Having watched
I'm not
that.
surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not
Did
surprised.
you bring me a cake then?
I didn't. I'm sorry. My hubby ate everything that I took home.
I'll have to have words with him.
This is Dr. Hicks, everybody. He's our resident doctor. And we're going to talk all about alcohol.
We are,
today.
because it's that time of the year, isn't
Yes.
it, when things go a little bit haywire for many people. And, you know, a drop of alcohol is fine. You know, it's a good way of sort of relaxing some of the inhibitions, making people a little bit more sociable. And for certain people, so, you know, men over the age of 40 and women who've gone through the menopause, a drop of alcohol every day or so may help reduce their risk of heart problems.
When you say a drop,
a unit or two,
right.
A unit or two. And I think
small
that's
glass, is that?
well, two units of alcohol is in a standard size glass of wine, and 3 units of alcohol is in a normal strength pint of beer. And I think that's what catches people out, because those sort of, they think, well, actually, I'll have a glass of wine and that's probably 1 unit, but actually it's not. It's twice as much as that. And certainly the people who are drinking pints of beer often get caught out. You know, they go out on Friday night or Saturday night, and you can see how you can just rack up those units, you know, significantly
Very
over a
easily.
short period of time. And the downside of that, of course, is, you know, the binge drinker is at huge risk of health problems. And we're not just talking about the unusual and unpleasant behaviour, but they end up in A&E with head injuries. They suffer accidents on the road. They end up in our sexual health clinic because they've been disinhibited and they've had unprotected sex and etc. And they're worried about STIs and etc. etc. So those are the sort of physical issues. Then of course you've got the emotional issues of too much alcohol, the greater risk of depression, anxiety and stress. And the social consequences. We know that people who drink too much, they don't perform as well at work, they have relationship problems, you know, and sadly they lose their friends. So it's all about that keyword moderation, really.
which unfortunately over Christmas and New Year, people kind of forget that word. But what does alcohol actually do to the body, the human body?
Well, it's a drug and it's a depressant. So although it may give us a little boost of confidence if we feel a bit socially inhibited, the long and short of it is it actually depresses everything. So people who, let's say they use alcohol to help them go to sleep at night, they won't get the same quality of sleep. You only have to think about your reaction times if you've had a glass or two of wine. Is everything is slowed down. Speech gets slurred. You know, your balance is all over the place. And that can be, for some people with relatively small quantities of alcohol. And that's why one of the ideas, to combat the whole Christmas and New Year festivities is something called Dry January, where people are encouraged to stop drinking, not drink throughout the whole of January, not to stop drinking at all forever, but just give the body and indeed the mind a break for a month. And people report, actually having completed it, that not only do they feel more energetic and more alive, but also they lose weight, and everybody's trying to lose weight come January.
Tell me about it.
But they also save a lot of money as well, because they're not spending it on the booze. So I'm not saying, nobody is saying that booze is evil. It's just you've got to just be very, very careful on how much you consume.
Now, when you've got so much social pressure, though, it's kind of hard, isn't it, for people to kind of resist and have another one, and it's kind of hard, isn't it?
It gets hard at this time of the year, and if there is the pressure, you say, throughout the year that says, well, go on, I'll buy you another round. You can always go for sort of a low alcohol drink, or actually just go for a non-alcohol drink and space it in between.
Yeah.
You might get a drink that actually that looks like it's an alcoholic drink. It might look like a beer, but actually you're not getting the alcohol at the same time. So you're still part of the group, but you're not putting yourself at the risk. And let's look at the risk of physical. Too much alcohol long term puts up blood pressure. It's a major risk factor for strokes. Liver disease, liver cirrhosis, indeed liver cancer, other cancers throughout the body. Breast cancer, the risk for a woman increases based on how much alcohol she consumes.
Wow.
So it's alcohol affects practically every part of the body, and that's why we need to treat it with a lot of respect.
Okay. And also, what about for people that have had a bit too much? Just to say they haven't listened to this great advice on the show today, and they overdo it and they end up with a hangover or feeling really ill. What advice would you give them? Well,
if you think about the symptoms, the causes of the hangover, it's dehydration and it's lack of sugar, basically. So you want to rehydrate. So lots of liquid. Fruit juice, orange juice is good because vitamin C actually helps the liver to process the alcohol.
Yeah.
You might want to have some toast, something like that, and always make sure that.
So not an English breakfast that they say.
Well, you can. Yeah, I mean,
Full English.
What I say to people is anything you can stomach. But when you're feeling unwell like that, actually, it's often the smell of your mind might want the full English breakfast, but when you see it and you smell it, it's off to the toilet you go.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's about being prepared, really. So, you have your things like, your painkillers, your indigestion remedies ready, so that if you've got these symptoms, upset stomach, a headache, all those sorts of symptoms that come with a hangover.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is the hair of the dog, have another drink, because that just postpones the inevitable. Mm-hmm. So people who wake up in the morning and they say, well, I always have a whiskey, to sort of see me through. It means they'll just get the symptoms later on in the day once they've stopped drinking.
Gosh, so maybe they should make it like a dry January, February, March. Maybe the first 3 months might be quite good.
I don't think anybody would commit to that, quite honestly.
You never know. People might actually realise that they don't, they've saved so much money and they feel so much better that they don't actually need it.
But there is the sensible approach is what we say is, for women, no more than 2 to 3 units on a regular basis each day. Yeah. And a regular basis means not drinking every day, so ideally with a few alcohol-free days. And for men, no more than 3 to 4 units of alcohol on a regular basis each day. And if you follow that sort of...
So that's quite important that you clarify that, because regular basis doesn't mean every day.
Doesn't mean every day. No, I mean, it's, it's not on a regular basis, so you don't want to have that every single day. Yeah. You do need to have a few alcohol-free days. And the other key message is, do not save up all your units for Friday night.
Okay, doesn't work.
No, you're not supposed to have all those units in one go, because you'll end up, unconscious. You'll end up in A&E, and at this time of the year, particularly, the festive season, New Year time, A&E accidents and emergencies are stretched enough as it is, without lots of drunk people making it very unpleasant for everybody there.
Okay. Yeah. All right, brilliant advice. Thank you so much.
You. Cheers.
And have a lovely Christmas.
And you too, yeah.
Right,
and here's to a healthy New Year.
Yes, definitely. And we'll be seeing a lot more from you in the New Year. Okie dokie, so do stay tuned, because after the break, I'll be speaking to the young lad who made £14,000 selling sweets at school. Join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show. Always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show. Always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show, and now it's time to meet Tommie Rose. Hello, Tommie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
It's great to have you on the show, because you've got quite a story to tell, and I'm sure everyone knows you already, because you hit the headlines all over the place for selling sweets at your school, getting into a bit of trouble, but also, being very successful from it.
Yeah, well, I've always been into business ever since when I was 8.
8?
Yeah.
Really?
Match attack cards was big. So I had the whole collection and doubles. So going to school playground, primary school, and I'd knock them out, say 3 for 70p, 3 for 50p.
Did you learn that from anywhere, or was it just you?
Well, we do swaps. It's a bit like where you compare them to each other, and if his was better than mine, he'd get to keep my cards. And then they said, bring them in school, Tom, flog them to us. So that's exactly what I did. And I was only getting £1.70 a day, but that was enough for an ice cream and a can of Coke.
Would you say that kind of gave you the thirst to do more, even from that
yeah,
age?
and then when I left primary school, I obviously went into high school, and I noticed it was a healthy eating school, and everybody wanted crisp, chocolate, lucozades. So I thought, I'll do this. And with me being in year 7, I obviously got caught straight away, just being immature, messing around with friends. And then I let it all cool down, and then just concentrated on my work.
Yeah.
And I was just at home one day, and my mum and dad was talking about that university that no one's ever graduated in the family, and I thought, yeah, I want to go to university now. And about a week later, I just had an adult chat with them and just said, how could I get this money to go to university? And they said, we'd give our right arm to send you, but I've got 2 other sisters, so the money's got to be split equally.
Okay.
So I just said if I sold in school and put the money into a savings account, let it go on from there. And then they would have thought I would have got caught in the first week like I did, but I had my mind focused on my goals, and now I've got £14,000. And there's a few businessmen that are giving me the right amount of money for the 3 terms at university, so that's good.
Okay, so you started off selling the stuff at school.
Yeah.
You actually had a couple of employees as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I employed two friends who was loyal. They wouldn't do nothing bad, like eat the products or anything. You could trust them, so that was the main thing. Paying them 20.
So you could already spot like a good employee.
Yeah,
you? They wouldn't eat the sweets. They wouldn't eat the chocolate.
Yeah, they weren't greedy. They was getting £5.50 a day, and they thought that's enough because they didn't have much neither. So to get £27.50 at the end of the week and save it up, then that's a lot a month. So I employed them too. Now I've gone into doing my t-shirts.
Before we get to that, because I want to hear a bit more about stuff at school. Now, what kind of kept you motivated to keep doing what you were doing at school? Did you constantly have like the uni stuff in your head all the time?
Yeah,
would you say, or was it just the sort of excitement of making money?
It was a bit of both, to be honest. I did love to make the money, but everyone thought the money was just going to my back pocket, but it was going into a child's trust fund for university. I just thought I just want to go to university to better myself in every way.
Yeah.
So I thought I don't want a student loan because I have an aunt, she's around 33 now, and she's still paying hers back off. So I thought,
you did the debt
yeah.
thing.
So I didn't want the debt thing. So that's why I did it.
That's really good. Gosh. Okay then. So then you moved on from there. You also put your lucozade bottle on eBay, which everybody heard about, and the bid was what in the end?
Around 1 million.
Okay.
But
was that shocking for you?
That was madness. Like the evening news got involved around my area and put it on, and then it went to £1 million. But through PayPal, I had a £50,000 deposit on it, and then the rest, with it being such a large amount, eBay legals have got to handle it now.
Okay, well you're going to get it hopefully, won't you?
Hopefully. I've already had 50,000, so that's good.
Okay, that's really good. Now I know you've got your t-shirt business, but I'd just like to ask you something first regarding sort of other youngsters in your area at school and stuff. It must have been maybe quite tempting when you see other kids sort of messing around or getting into trouble and stuff like that, and peer pressure. How did you kind of separate yourself from that and just get on with doing what you had to do?
Well, they do the same stuff every day, and I've already done that stuff before. And I thought, I don't need to get involved. I need to stay under the radar to get this money. So I just have to maybe still have them as friends, but maybe mix with other people that aren't getting in trouble. Like, say they're going out in the playground to mess around, I'd just stay in, just keep out of trouble, keep under the radar from the teachers, because I didn't want my business then to go downhill through me messing around and getting kicked out of school or getting put in seclusion or anything like that. So.
Okay. All right. So then you didn't stop there, did you? Because then you had another idea. So how did you come up with the idea for your t-shirt business? What happened?
Well, I was in a lesson one day and we was making t-shirts, and I thought, well, that's easy. So I thought, I want to do t-shirts now. I just needed a name. When the head teacher accused me of selling black market products, and then I thought, that is the name, that's what I need to do. So then a company gave me 2,000 t-shirts for free.
Oh wow, okay.
So that was good as well. And now I sold them and made around £10,000.
You made 10 grand already?
Yeah, 10 grand already.
Wow. And how are you expanding the business now? What are your plans to do that?
Well, I'm planning to go into, there's a huge demand for jumpers, hoodies. So I'm going to do hoodies, gym wear, shorts, vest. I'm just going to go into it all because I'm young and I know what everybody likes. I'm into fashion myself, so if I can add like a bit of twist to it and give them something that they all want, then that'll be good too.
Now you've attracted attention as well, haven't you, Tommie? Because you've also done something with one of Dragon's Den's finest, the
Opafetis. Well, that was madness right from the start. I was shocked when he left. Like 2 hours later, I was still shocked, thinking, "Wow, that's just happened." It was madness. He gave me some very good tips, and it was mad for him, like to basically tutor me and tell me, you need to focus on your business or you need to focus on your grades. You either want to go to university or you need to focus on your business. He said I should focus on my business because I'm already doing it now and I'm being successful.
Yeah, exactly. So are you going to follow his advice?
I think so, yeah. Because he started from nothing. He run a tuck shop in his school, and then he was a tea boy at 18. So he started from nothing. Now look at him now. So I think he said, just try and follow in his footsteps and try and be successful. But he sent some really good tweets out.
Yeah, that's really good. And it wasn't just him, Deborah Meaden as well, didn't she?
Yeah, well, Deborah Meaden did a live video tape to me, and she said, "You're an entrepreneur in the making. No, you're an entrepreneur. Maybe one day I'll be in." And I thought that was really nice for her to say that.
Now, Tommie, there's a lot of young people, especially, that say, you know what, I've got no choice but to be on the streets and messing around and get into trouble because I'm bored and there's nothing to do and I live on a council estate and there's no opportunities for me. What would you say to them?
Well, there's no opportunities for them because they're not trying hard enough. They just like to sit on the backside. I have a few mates like that. They go, "Wow, you've done good for yourself now, Tommie. I'd like to be like you," but they could be like me. It's just they have to have confidence and they have to be passionate. So, say they could get into t-shirts. I'd happily employ some of them, but it's just some of them are lazy, and there's either two paths you can go down, messing around, either getting put in jail, Youth Offenders Institute, or you can be successful, run your own business or work. So people just giving up at an early age thinking, "Oh, I can't be bothered, I'd rather go out with my mates," but you've got to push your mates aside and like I've done and focus.
Okay. And then also I know there's a lot of adults watching as well that maybe have their own business and maybe not going so well. Could you give us, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner now, could you give maybe your top tips on how to have a great business? I know you're still in the making and everything, but what's working for you at the moment that you could
social
pass on
media.
Yeah.
Everyone has social media, so I set it up through PayPal, eBay shop, what my dad runs for me because I'm not old enough. But everybody has social media, so I'm taking most of my orders in from social media. So if they put their products on, say, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Twitter's the main one because there's a lot of people. All you need to do then is get somebody like to share, like Jason Manford shared mine, tweeted all the dragons. Now I've gone pretty big now.
Okay, and what are your future plans, Tommie? Because I can't see you stopping here now. I can see you kind of.
Well, I'm definitely not going to stop. What I aim to do is I aim to try and conquer the UK and then go to America.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's excellent. It's so inspirational, and you actually are talking to youngsters now, aren't you, doing workshops and things?
Yeah, well, some of my friends go to youth clubs so far. If I go around to the youth clubs and try and persuade them not to stop, that there is a light at the end of the dark tunnel, not to go down the crime road because there's no need for that path. If they are just focused and, say, put time into it, a lot of them get excluded from school and they'd like to be on the street doing other stuff. But I actually don't get it. I've done stuff, but it's either two paths you go down, like I said, the jail one or the successful one, or work. And then there's people getting girls pregnant and then they can't provide for them. So I think they should work, really.
What keeps you grounded, Tommie? Not to kind of, for it all to get to your head, what keeps you kind of
just to be myself. Like, I'm still the same lad on the estate, still the same lad in the gym, still the same lad at home. I just don't let it all get to me. It's great that all the stars, Deborah Meaden, Lord Sugar, Duncan Ballantyne, Theo Pafitis, Jason Manford, they've all supported me, and loads of other businessmen. That's great, but I just don't let it sink into me. I don't want to change who I am. I like to be who I am. So.
All right, well, you're a lovely lad. It's been brilliant talking to you, and all the best with your future. I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more from you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, so there you have it. Some great advice there from Tommie. But do stay tuned, because after the break, I'll be joined by Chris Browne and his tips for the Self-Development Clinic to help kickstart your confidence in the new year.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and now we're in the Self-Development Clinic with Chris Browne. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Chrissy.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Sorry, it's just sort of froggy down there. Yeah, but I'm good, thanks.
It'll be all right. We're going to answer a question. You have some water while I just read out this question from a viewer, and then you can help me answer it.
Okay.
Alrighty, so this person says, hi Chrissy, this is from Serena. And she says, I know you're always talking about being happy and not allowing problems to get us down, that we should face our issues, etc. I do agree, but the thing is, I just don't know where to start because I have so much going on. I'm unemployed, I've been depressed most of my life. My marriage isn't great, just to name a few things. So what do I do? All right, Serena. So first of all, what I would say to you is that, you know, you've mentioned quite a few things there, but you really need to tackle one thing at a time. So I'll give you my example. When I had depression and, you know, the panic attacks and all those problems that I had before, it affected my relationship. And, you know, I was having severe arguments with my boyfriend, physical fights. It was really bad. It affected other areas of my life. So when I, you know, started to get help and I found the right help, I concentrated on getting healing and, you know, getting over the depression first. And I realized that after I dealt with that and I wasn't depressed anymore, my behavior towards my partner changed. And, you know, we were able to have a good relationship. Our relationship completely changed. We got married. So, you know, if you're trying to kind of maybe work on your relationship without dealing with the depression, it's not going to work. You have to deal with the most pressing issue. From what you haven't said much here, but from what you've said here, the main thing is, I think, is being depressed, because as I said, that does affect other areas of your life. So that would be my advice. I think you could consider counselling as well if you're not already having that, or maybe at least to speak to someone that understands what you're going through and maybe has been depressed and has got over it, to give you some pointers. And if you want more advice from me, you can email me again. But definitely you need to tackle one thing at a time. So I would go for the depression first of all, get help for that, and I'm sure it's going to have an effect on other areas of your life. I don't know if you'd like to add anything, Chris.
You know, I wouldn't add too much to that. I'll just stick with you on that one. Definitely counselling. You know, counselling to actually deal with the whole issue at the end of the day, because there's many sprongs from that you can get from that. So I'll just say counselling. I'm not going to go any further on that one.
Okay then. All right. Yeah. So if you guys have a question at home, you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Now, how's your throat? So you're going to be able to talk?
My throat is...
Because I can just talk for 12 minutes.
My throat is a bit better. I had a little bit of drink there, but if it goes again, I'll let you talk.
I'll start talking. I'll take over your bit. All right. So what we're talking about today?
Okay, we're talking about confidence today. And do we need more confidence? And really, what is confidence? You know, it's funny because just a while ago, sitting on the side and listening to both your guest speak as well, and I was listening to it, and just the drive to go ahead and do things has actually built that confidence. Then it's a sort of knock-on effect. That's what I was picking up over there. But looking at overall, I mean, what is confidence? You know, sometimes we see someone, we say, oh, that person speaks out, or that person speaks in front of millions, or this person is an actor who does this and the other. That doesn't necessarily mean that that person is confident at the end of the day, because they may be able to perform that act, but behind it at the end of the day, there's another sort of person going on. And not saying they're not confident, but I'm just saying everybody has a bit of both sides, and it depends on where their passion actually lies. Now, one thing which can actually narrow down confidence is sometimes you find someone who's not that outgoing, right? Doesn't speak out and all that. They might be in the background, but that doesn't mean they're not confident, because confidence is more about doing what you actually achieve, what you actually do, having the will to actually go ahead and do it and achieve it and show it. That's one of the main areas as well. So we could talk about confidence in many areas, and it's how we actually view it. Fear. Do we fear? Do confident people fear? I would say very much so. Do actually have fears as well.
Though it seems that they don't.
Though it seems it's portrayed as they don't, but confident people do have fears. And I think that's part of the, I'd say, the drive behind it at the end of the day, to actually achieve and, you know, present that sort of area of themselves. Because when you look at it, you think, well, think about it. We talked about this before, starting this, did you ever have a fear about doing it? You know, in any kind of way? Did I have fear sitting here? Yes, I'd say so. Very much so. And many
I was terrified when I did the first show. I was shaking.
Yeah,
it was live. It was the first time I was doing a show by myself. Right. But then I got used to it.
You got used to it?
I did, yeah.
Right. So would you say out of the repetition of doing it all the time?
Yeah, the repetition and just being more comfortable and making sure that because I'm always myself on the show. I don't. Right. I think when you try and be someone else, that's when you get nervous. That's when, you know, you can't perform properly because it's hard to act like someone else unless you're an actor.
Well, you can't
unless
keep
that's
that
your
up.
profession.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like I'm just chatting with friends. I'm on a show that I'm just talking to people that I know. So.
And you just said a key word, getting to know yourself. You're presenting who you are at the end of the day. So it's just as well chatting outside here, chatting in here, having a talk, Same thing, getting to know yourself. Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your qualities? What is the good side about you that you actually want to present? That is part of your confidence as well. Now, we've narrowed this one down. how to actually gain confidence. I'm sure a lot of us always think, well, how do we actually gain confidence? I'm going to take that right back to the same place as well. Sometimes the confidence has gone not because saying, well, this person has no confidence. There's a journey behind it. It depends whatever happened to them when they was younger. It depends whatever happened in their daily life, how they were spoken to, being told off all the time, these sort of things. And sometimes we've got this little loop in our head. Instead of this loop going forwards, sometimes it goes backwards. You know, sort of thing, something happens and you keep thinking about it and you move on and you keep thinking about it. We need to actually cut that loop and start presenting ourselves forward and project in our mind what we really want. So that's part of it as well, in actually gaining, being able to actually achieve and do the things that you want to do. Believe in you. Believe in you.
Definitely.
Is the main one.
Okie dokie.
Yep.
You finished? Oh, he's finished. Oh, wow, he finished early today. All right, so since we've got a bit of time left, because I did ask, we did have the comments from the viewers. I forgot to ask the other guests, actually, naughty me. Favourite thing about Christmas?
Favourite thing about Christmas? Favourite thing about Christmas.
You better be careful you don't put weight on, because you're going to come complaining. You went on holiday. I remember when you went on holiday. Where did you go again?
Last year, went to Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago, and he came back complaining about his big belly.
Well, I had so much roti and chicken and
curry.
You cannot resist. You had some as well. I brought you some back. You're complaining.
He brought some back for me.
Yeah, but you know, this Christmas, I'm going to be eating. Do you know that mince pie thing I just heard about? I'm going to be eating mince pies.
Is that your favourite thing about Christmas?
I like mince pies as well. I like eating as well, but also sharing with family, being able to do stuff, get up in the morning, giving thanks for actually being alive and being on that day overall. Yeah, and sharing with family. My wife as well. You know, you always tell me.
See, notice how he mentioned mince pies before he mentioned spending time.
You don't want to do that to me. I'll get no more mince pies this Christmas. You know, and obviously, as I said, it's a birthday thing as well. So it's, for me personally, it's about sharing, about giving and having everybody around and just relaxing, having fun, to be honest, you know.
Right. So remember the average weight gain is 5 to 10 pounds. Be careful.
5 to 10 pounds. Let me see. How many mince
pies? Okay, we'll leave it there. Chris, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.
Chrissy.
Alrighty, guys, so I do hope you've all enjoyed the show, and there's been great advice and, you know, inspirational stories today. So if you want more information about the program, you can visit the website, chrissybshow.tv. And if you have an inspirational story you'd like to share on the program, do email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.
As usual, we're going to teach you about how to make quick, easy and really nutritious. We are going to show you how to make some really fun, quick, easy. Hello and welcome to the MTS Kitchen. My name's Hannah Richards and today I'm going to show you how to make a really fun-packed... My name's Hannah Richards and today I'm going to show you how to make